Back in the days when I was in Laos, I heard that if you ever see or hear anything strange, just keep moving forward and pretend you didn't see or notice them. During this time in Laos, I had some hearing loss. Not totally, but enough to where I need to face you directly to be able to understand what you're saying. When I was 13 or 14, I went out with my other cousin during the evening to check out some Hmong girls next to the village. On our way to the village, my cousin told me to follow him, so I did. He said if you see me run, run. If you see me creeping, creep. If you see me hiding, hide. I agreed. I asked him why must I do the things he does. He said the road we are traveling to is haunted, so we must move quickly. If he sees or hear anything, we must detour quickly. I was scared, but I told him I wanted to go, so he and I went on this adventure. As we went on this little village towards the east, there was no problem. We met two nice girls who were about to just prepare dinner. They invited us to have dinner with their family, but we declined. We asked if it was okay for us to see them later. They agreed to come out and talk with us. I was happy, but my handicap was so shameful since I wasn't able to communicate well with the girls. I let my cousin do all the talking and laugh. When he laughed, it felt so awkward being there and not able to say anything. One of the girls asked my cousin why was I not talking. So he said because when I was young, I was stung by some wasp in the ear. The girl felt sorry for me, so she came over and sat next to me. But I was so shy since this was my first time a girl noticed me at all. I tried to gather up some courage and carry a conversation with her, but everything that came out was yes and no, mostly head nodding. She did most of the talking for both of us. By the time I knew it, it got very late. My cousin was still talking to the other girl, while I was sitting next to this girl I liked very much. I finally got enough courage to tell her my name and asked her for her name and if it was okay for me to see her again. She smiled and said yes. I asked her if my handicap made her think differently of me. She said it's my heart she wanted, not my ears, and I was very happy after that. It was getting close to morning, about 4 AM, and the roosters were beginning to crow. We said our goodbyes. On our way back, I was following my cousin closely. All of a sudden, he started to run, so I ran after him. Every turn he made, I followed exactly how he told me to. We came to a crossroad, and there was a lady dressed in black standing there in the middle of the road, looking southward. My cousin stopped and we hid behind a big tree. He put his hand to my mouth and whispered to me not to move or make any sound. We watched through the leaves and the lady standing there started to walk towards our direction. My cousin made a sign language for us to hide underneath the leaves and let her pass. I could feel my heart pounding and the hair on my arms and neck rising. As we lay underneath the leaves, we could see her pass by. I could barely see her face, but I knew she wasn't a human. We just lay quietly and watched her go down the road. Instead of going back on the road, we detoured through the woods and found a different path home. My cousin and I were scared. My cousin said, "Did you hear her calling your name?" I said, "No." I thought he was joking, but he looked serious. He said, "Did you tell those girls your name?" I said, "Yes." Then he said, "Never ask for a girl's name or tell her your name out in the open." I was young and stupid. I didn't know what I was doing, and no one taught me all this. When we got home, he told my dad that we saw a demon calling my name on the road. My dad went and fetched a shaman right away. The shaman said we need to change my name or else the demon will find me. Then I will get sick. So right then and there, the shaman made a doll out of straws and tied my shirt onto the doll and said the person you seek is no longer here, so stop bothering us. The shaman and my father took the doll to a cliff and threw it off the cliff. Later that week, I heard that the girl I was talking to got really sick and died. Even though my name was changed, I kept seeing that girl in my dreams. Sometimes the dreams seemed so real, like she was right there with me. In my dreams, I knew it was only a dream, and I asked her to stop coming to see me, but she said she wanted me and only me. I told her I'm too young and irresponsible, but she said she loved me so much that she'll always be with me. In my dreams, she was so beautiful and wonderful, but I knew she was dead, so I tried my best to persuade her to leave me alone. She would cry, and it made me sad to see her cry. Once during a harvesting time, I was tired, so I went to sleep at our farm hunt. I could have sworn I saw her vividly in our garden. I got up and scanned the rice field, but it was only my imagination. I was kind of scared, but I had to be strong and pretend I didn't notice what happened. I continued gathering the rice into piles. My dad said, "Let's go home." He came to me and said, "Are you alright?" I said, "Yes." He said, "You look pale." He then asked me if something happened to me today. Then I told him that since the last time the shaman came to our house, a week later I started having dreams of my dead girlfriend. Earlier I saw her in our rice field. He had his Hmong knife and raised it over my head and said, "Leave my son alone. You are now in the land of the dead. My son is still alive, so please leave him alone. I don't want to harm you, so show us some respect. If you truly love my son, then leave him alone." When we got home, my dad went to fetch the shaman again. We went to the village where the girl was living. We went to her house. It was abandoned. We gave our condolences and killed a pig as an offering to her. Her family no longer live in that village. After she died, they moved to another town to be closer to her dead relatives. Ever since we did the offering, she never came back to me again. In 1986, we came to the US. I am no longer deaf. Turns out I had a bad ear infection, and with a cochlear hearing implant, I'm doing great. I always wonder, what if I had heard that girl calling my name? I would have died like that girl did. I guess having a hearing loss was a blessing in disguise.